So here's an update on how the system is going. I've pulled the Provent unit out, I'll show you that in a moment. That pipe there is the one that goes, or comes from the air oil separator, and as you can see there's loads of oil in that that's really wet with oil. The one that is the output from the Provent unit, it is bone dry. Like there is no oil residue or anything, so it's clearly, I mean, to me it looks like it's collecting 100% of that oil. And this is after about 400 kilometers of driving, so it's not much driving. This is the Provent unit itself. I'm not sure if you can see all the oil up the top there. Interestingly, at the bottom of the car, there's been no dripping of oil. And having a look at this system, you can see how the inlet comes at this angle. This obviously does this crazy whirlwind in here that flicks all the oil to the outside. All the oil was collecting at the top here. When I pulled it out, there was actually this big pool of oil, and because it was actually sitting at an angle, that had actually come over the lip to come around the corner and actually go down the middle and then drain out the bottom. Something that I would do, you can see how it's got the handle on the filter itself. When you install it, I would put it like that, so the low point has that bit in there, so it can come over there easily and come down the bottom rather than pull a little bit higher in there. But when I pulled this out, there's actually a lot more oil than that at the start. I pulled it out to see how the filter's looking. The bottom of it is completely dry. So clearly most of the action is actually happening up the top here, and it's only the stuff that is actually getting through there then actually gets filtered out by that. But where the bottom of that is completely dry and it was just sitting up the top here, and I would imagine that as time goes on and it builds up, it will just slowly drip down the side here, and then you'll start to see some oil coming out the bottom. But I'm surprised how much oil this has collected in such a short amount of time. It was probably, I'd probably say, just as a guess, maybe 5 millilitres of oil in that 400 kilometres of driving. So yeah, interesting. But certainly I'm super happy with the way the system is working. The only thing that was going on was this is actually getting loose when I actually thought it might have been broken because I could grab this and just wiggle this around. So what I've done is I've marked where I'm actually going to put it at that correct angle so it goes nicely down the side here. And I'm actually going to put some sealant around here so this actually holds this perfectly in place so it can't move in the future. Because there's a lot of oil coming down this thing, I've actually adjusted where it's actually going to come to. I still don't want to have a tap on the bottom. So what I've done is I've just got a little plastic container here. It's just clear plastic. I've drilled a hole in the top that's just cable tied. I put a bit of sponge, just an old bit of washer sponge inside there to soak it all up. The hose just goes in there so I can just drip down in there easily. Little aluminium bracket there that's just bolted to the ground point for the engine, and that just holds that in place. The nice thing is I can actually see that from underneath the car. So with the cover in place around the jack point just behind that, I can actually see this thing filling up if I just lie on the ground. So that'll be hopefully a relatively simple way of working out when I need to jump under here and empty it all out.